My mission is to keep the hospitals empty. How many people you know that was around your table for Thanksgiving that's not there no more, that had to do something with food?
You have a Bible verse in your logo. God provided all seed-bearing plants and fruit-bearing trees for humanity's food. Why is that scripture important to you?
It's a reminder.
To quote you, I saw a post on your Instagram and you said, why pray over the food that's damaging your temple?
Why they don't pray over sewage water? Does it make any sense?
Why does America put things in our food that's not good for our bodies?
It's a business. I'm gonna show you a triangle. You ready? So on top, right, you have the big pharma. This side, the fast food. And then this side, the hospitals.
They're working in tandem. Yeah.
Back to big pharma. It's a business.
And you had a caption that says, radiation does more harm to cancer patients than good.
When people die from cancer and they were taking chemo, it's not the cancer that killed them, it's radiation poisoning. And husbands or husbands-to-be, remember, you are the doctors of your household.
Sickness doesn't wait on people because you're a good person. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. It comes to claim you, and you don't want to be in that position. You know what I mean? So prevention is everything.
The fact is that vegan, vegetarian, no matter what you are, that doesn't make you go to heaven.
Welcome back to the Halfway Up podcast, and I call it Halfway Up because you never finish rising. And today, man, one thing y'all may or may not know about me is I used to be vegan. I was vegan for 2 years. I was inspired by Dr. Sebi. You know, I became vegan because I was listening to Nipsey Hussle album, and it was a song, was it Blue Laces? And he was like, they killed Dr. Sebi. He was teaching health. And I was like, who the fuck is Dr. Sebi? You know what I mean? So I Googled Dr. Sebi, and then from there, you know, everything he was saying was resonating with me. You know what I mean? So I became vegan, and I started just really diving like head first into the holistic lifestyle. But I don't really get a chance to talk about that type of stuff a lot, you know, because that's just not everybody's walk. And so, but this gentleman that I got on the podcast today, this is his walk. It's actually his, I would say it's his purpose. You know what I mean? He's made this his purpose. So I'm really interested to talk my vegan healthy shit. I don't know if you are. Are you vegan?
Yeah, I'm vegan.
Okay,
I'm
so
straight plant-based. I look into that camera.
Yeah, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna introduce you in a minute. But anyway, I'm happy to talk my shit with another brother who cares about his health and who's all about living a holistic lifestyle, man. So without further ado, man, I got my guest Giovanni, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Giovanni Henry. I'm a believer in Lord Jesus Christ. I'm a 2-time veteran, and I'm all about, you know, teaching people to steward their health, steward the temple that God has given them to steward, because you only have it one time, and we all know hospital bills is very expensive.
Nigga.
So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, first thing I want to do is, man, I want to congratulate you on being newlywed, man.
Oh, man, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You don't see a lot of brothers getting married out here. I mean, people getting married, but, you know, it's like every time you see it, it's like, I don't know how everybody else feel, but when I see people get married, it gives me hope, you know? It's like a shining light of what's possible. It's like, oh, man, because you're hearing all this fucking, the dating pool got pissed in it conversation. That's the main conversation online. And so to see somebody getting married and taking a union with God, you know what I mean? It's a great thing.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It came a long way from doing that because, you know, my wife, I had to actually, like, you know,
what you have to do?
Strive to get her, you know, because when you marry someone, it's a covenant between you two and with God being the center. And trust me, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, experiencing my daughter come into this world, it was amazing. I would never regret that.
Hold on. Before you already getting me, you getting to my questions before I get to them. So first of all, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you, man, very much so. First question I want to ask you is, now that you are married, man, how long have you been married?
I've been married for about over a year now.
Over a year.
Yeah, in February it will be 2 years.
Okay. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what's the difference between being a boyfriend and a husband?
Well, being a husband is a commitment. And you're obligated to your wife, or, you know, and vice versa. The wife is obligated to the husband. Boyfriend does not get those privileges. There's no promise. There's no commitment. There's no ring. I would just call that in the getting to know one another stage.
Before marriage.
Because way, thousands of years, it was courting, then married. You know, you're courting someone, but now over time, they have boyfriend and girlfriend, they have wifey. So just to go in deep detail, a lot of people are living, and I've been in this situation in the past.
A lot of us have.
Right. In a situation where like a man and a woman be together for so many years, right? And usually I'm not generalizing all people, but I only grew up with, a Caribbean background. So this is what I see. I don't know every other background. And it's sad to see that, I'll see family members with the same person for years, and the woman expects the man to, engage. But how can he engage if he already has husband benefits?
You feel that way? Why would a man feel incentivized to go the whole way through marriage if he's already receiving a lot of the privileges and luxuries of being with
I
the
feel
girl?
that way because I've been in that type. I've been in those shoes.
Okay, I got you.
And then, you may not say it, but your actions showing it like, oh, I'm getting food, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. So now you're like, why would I need to marry her?
That's interesting you say that. I do feel differently about that because I feel like receiving those things are making me feel more secure in making the decision to be married. For me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily look at it like, I mean, you already giving me like all this stuff, so like, why would I marry you? I feel like, oh, it's safe to marry you, or at least a safer choice to marry you in comparison to some other women, because you are showing me that you're capable of being consistent with these things.
Okay, so all right, so let me specify. I had a good friend of mine. He said, "Hey, when you deal with your wife, at the time when we was just getting to know each other, just know that she's a woman of God." Right? So I said, "All right, cool." So we have to set boundaries in place because, however, the flesh is very deceitful.
Yes, and very tempting.
Very tempting. So no staying over the house past this time. Let's stay outside. Let's not go out at this certain time. Not being too lovey-dovey. None of that.
Too promiscuous.
Yes. So I think the best things that is better to know long-term if this person is your wife is to know that, okay, are we on the same page when it comes to our belief in Christ? Yeah. That's the first one.
Yeah.
And then two, where are we heading together?
Yeah, most importantly.
Yeah, where are we heading together? Because that's the most important thing about premarital counseling. We did that twice. Premarital counseling shows if you're ready to be married or you and that person are supposed to get married. It's one of those pills that's hard to swallow.
I can only imagine how fucked up it would feel to be like excited about the idea of marriage, and then you go through premarital counseling, and then you find out like, damn, maybe not.
but that's the test.
That's the test.
That's the test, because you can say, okay, now I know this. Now I'm learning. I'm learning. That's the thing, most people, when it comes to like marriage, it's more than what you see on a reel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? It's a reflection. Now I'm speaking from a biblical standpoint, right? I can't really speak much on how marriage is supposed to be like, but biblical standpoint, it represents the Christ and his bride, aka the church. Right? Husbands, love your wives, right? As Christ loved the church, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's supposed to be based off on no conditions, unconditional. So
unconditional love.
Unconditional love mean like in another way. So I'm speaking about experience. I was married before. I got divorced.
Before this?
Yeah, way before. I got married at the age of 20.
Oh shit.
Yeah, when I first joined the Marines. I thought I had all checks in the box. I said, oh, she go to church. She has a degree. She's pretty. Boom. Wife.
That's scary how you can feel all those things and then still be wrong. That's scary.
You see?
Because I can relate to that as well.
And to be honest, I young men, when y'all come out of the military, don't get too egotistical. You know what I mean? You could listen to people. Cause I remember I told the pastor virtually when we was doing the premarital counseling, I said, hey, come on, can we hurry this up? I'm good. I'm ready.
Really? What age were you around this
20.
20.
Because think about it. I'm a young man. I didn't join the Marines because I was a troublesome person. I joined the Marines because I wanted to. That was my dream. So I got it done. I work hard.
Yeah.
I got a woman.
You did
which
it.
You could tell me.
You feeling like you the man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And he said, all right. And he married us in front of my family. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. And then everything went turmoil from there. And then from there I said, nah, I'm doing premarital counseling. But I did it twice.
But did he was he giving you signs that maybe y'all need to take some more time?
it was one sign, not from him, but the bishop did say what he said. He told her. So this is what made me extra motivated. He told her, hey, I'm not going to marry you guys because he's too strong-minded. It's not wrong being strong-minded.
No, of course not.
Because he or she knows what he wants, but stubborn, that is different.
They can get in the way.
Yeah, either way. And then when he said that, I said, he told you that? No man not going to tell me I can't marry. Bro, ego is something crazy because you're going to do it.
Yeah.
I said, oh, nah.
Because you're just full of yourself. You're successful to a degree,
I'm like, nah.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
So I got married.
We got married. And then, moved to California the first night when she came. There was an argument. And everywhere we went, there was always an argument. There was always something. Then even worse, I started going to church by myself. And I was like, wait, this is crazy.
This is actually like a great segue because we're talking about your previous marriage, right? And now you were in a new marriage. Right. And that brings... Yeah. So one of the things I want to ask you is, how did you know she was ready? How do you know she was ready to be a wife?
Your
current wife.
My current wife?
Yes.
The thing is, I think it was her purity. That's how I know she was one. Her purity and her walk with God. That's what made me know that she's the one, because her walk with God. That's it. Simple.
Yeah. And it was a genuine walk.
A genuine walk. And this is the first woman I'm in love with.
She ain't had no crystals in no books.
Nah, she ain't know that. Funny enough, she was a Muslim and then she became a Christian. That's way before me.
That's way before you.
Way before me. And that's when I was like, flames.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
That gave you flames? That did it for you?
That did it for me, yeah.
Oh, you were a converter.
Yeah, because I used to study Islam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is one of your questions, but the way how I came to Christ, I studied different religions. Wow, we going real deep. I study NOI, Nation of Islam, Islam, Mormonism. I know this is not a religion, but I looked into Freemasonry.
Really?
Judaism.
Really?
And I remember at the age of 12, I remember as a kid, I used to bounce back and forth from a Baptist church every Sunday and go to church with my mom, a Roman Catholic church, by choice. My mom never forced anything on me. And I remember I used to go home on religiousfacts.org and I used to study different religions, study. I used to ask my mom, can you get me this book, that book? And I knew in my heart that when I found the truth in Christ, I couldn't go nowhere. But I was still studying. My heart accepted him, but my mind was still studying different things.
That's interesting.
But yeah, man, I was lost too. Way before I met my wife. I know the truth, but I was lukewarm. I was contemplating becoming a Freemason. I used to say things, we all worship the same God. If you want me to answer why I don't believe we don't worship the same God, I'll be glad to. We don't worship the same God.
Yeah.
That's a very, very powerful, controversial statement. We don't. Because let me give you an example. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
So in Islam, they believe in Allah.
Yeah, Allah.
Right? That means God, lowercase. Even when every angel appeared to someone in the Bible, what did they say when people got scared? Fear not. The story of Gabriel appearing before Muhammad in a cave to give him a new revelation, he brushed himself against him and told him and forced him to recite what he needed him to recite. That's, written, and which is outside the Bible. And he went to his wife trembling in fear. But that angel never say, fear not. And they call Allah the what? The great deceiver?
Yeah.
The deceiver?
The great deceiver? Muhammad?
That's one of the names of their God.
Right.
Look it up. If you think I'm lying, look it up.
No, you talking about Islam, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's one of his names.
Yeah.
But God never deceived anybody. They also believe that Jesus never died on the cross. They believe they sent somebody else up there to look like him. But the purpose of Jesus coming to this earth is to die for humanity's sins.
Yeah, for sure.
To build that bridge, because there's only one mediator, which is him.
Yeah.
So if you're saying we worship the same God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we're not saying the same God. You believe that Christians is going to go to hell. But in John 3:16 it says, "For God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son, whosoever believes shall not perish but have everlasting life."
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that God will come and bring about a book of confusion, aka their book?
Well, see, that just makes me wonder more so, is it that we don't serve the same, is it that we don't believe that it's the same God, or is it just the religion is different? And these conversations are really interesting, and like I'm not nearly knowledgeable enough,
No,
but
you don't have to be knowledgeable.
but this what I was gonna say though. But it's religion is a tough thing, man, and it's tough because when you just go back and you just do like the what's it called, the anthropology of like human migration and how people got to the places they got to and where they started to build and why they decided what they decided. You know, it's like even like Jesus was not a Christian. You know what I mean? Christianity didn't even exist when he was alive. You know what I mean? But Jesus was a Jew. He was, you know what I mean? And Jews practice Judaism, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus is born in the Middle East.
Right.
So it's like, tell me when I'm wrong, because I'm just thinking I'm saying what I believe I know, you know, but it's like Jesus was born in the Middle East, and so Jesus was born in a land where I think Judaism is older than Christianity.
Yeah, I mean that's the first one.
But I only say that to say it becomes I see why people be saying the things that they say based off of where they are.
Yeah. And I can humbly say,
mm-hmm.
I've been in that shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to realize, you got to remember, look, man, ask a Muslim, what's the Injil? Injil in English means gospel.
Mm.
If they can't tell you that, and if they speak on it, they're going to contradict themselves.
Mm.
The gospel is that God came lower than the angels, and he came amongst his own creation to teach us how to live and to die through humanity's sins.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have salvation through his name, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So if they tell you that, it looks like a contradiction because they believe that Jesus was the Messiah and a prophet, but they never believe he was God.
The Son of God, right.
Or the Son of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of the gospel.
But isn't it interesting how Jesus is in the Quran, though? It's interesting.
All right. But he was placed in there and there was confusion all about it. Think about it. How did the Quran came about?
I know this, but it's not even on top of my mind.
They will tell you it came from Allah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you truly find out the characteristics of who Allah is,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna just ask God, what does the Islam believe? Matter of fact, you don't even have read your word.
Mm-hmm.
Once you read your word, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to serve that God. Because it's confusion.
Yeah.
Think about it. If I would just put it to you like this. If you can compromise the gospel, what you're speaking is false. Because you believe they sent someone, but there were books before the Quran which speaks about what? In the book of Isaiah, by his whips we were healed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're going to tell me, oh no, scratch that. I'm going to write a new revelation and say that Jesus never died for us. That's blasphemous.
Yeah,
and there's more.
Mm-hmm.
The very fact that, it's so many points you could pull out, but the thing is it's a lot of confusion, and they're not the Jesus that we believe in is not the one they believe in. And how can you sit and how can you sit there, right, and say that I want to say the hadith, but if I say this is gonna be very and it tells you hadiths is people who had essentially encounter with Muhammad, and they write down the things that he say. I mean, can I read it?
Go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead.
If I read this, blur my face.
So Muhammad was the founder of Islam and considered by Muslims to be the final prophet in a long line of messengers sent by God, including Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus.
Muhammad received Quran from Satan. Amda al-Hakim, Volume 3, Hadith number 460, narrated by Anas ibn Malik. I heard, so narrated means to write, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard from the Apostle of Allah, which is Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, that he said Allah was Satan in the form of an angel that revealed to me the verses and his book, the Quran, and I am his prophet.
And who said this?
Right here. It's in the Hadith. A man who narrated it in there.
And what is the Hadith?
The Hadith is essentially writings of people who were witnesses with Muhammad.
Right.
And they wrote down the things that he said, or they write down the current events.
At that time.
So
this is a whole different separation from the Quran.
Yes.
Something completely different.
But they read it.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard. It shatters your whole brain, because we've been told, especially in the black community, especially Islam is big in the black community, right?
Huge, yeah.
And we say, oh, Allah is God. Allah is the same God that. No. Our God is not a deceiver.
Yeah,
I didn't say it. All right. Yeah. Read it again.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I heard from.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in the Hadith. So this is a very document that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Narrated by Anas ibn Malik. I heard from the Apostle of Allah, peace and blessing be upon him, that he said Allah was Satan in the form of an angel that revealed to me the verses and his book, the Quran, and I am his prophet. That you don't need no more confusion, or that right there sells it out already. And if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saying peace and blessing be upon him.
Mm-hmm.
Also bless the person who's a messenger of the devil. Wolf, this is, one of them things in life when you reason about something, the truth is the truth. You can rip it apart and be like, but they do this, works is filthy rags before God. The only thing that can save you is Christ, because that's a work-based religion. By us saying works save us, is saying our works is greater than the cross. You can't say that.
Listen.
See, bust your head.
Because if I was born into a home that practiced Islam, right?
I hear this a lot. I have some for you.
If
I hear this a lot.
If I was born into a home that practiced Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, whatever, that's who I would be. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people, like you shared about your wife, you know what I mean? They have these experiences where they see it differently and they're like, nah, this is what's right. You know what I mean? Like, I have been called to study this, to follow this, to embody this. You know what I mean? But some people have not had those encounters. Some people have not had these, I would say, supernatural encounters, because it would have to be supernatural for you to go from what you were raised upon to like, this is what my heart is calling me to do. You know what I mean? And so it's like, when it comes down to religion, it's like, bruh, sometimes it really do feel like it do more dividing than not sometimes, because like, what is a person supposed to do if I grew up in a house and everybody is Buddhist and that's what we on? You know what I mean? Like, what is a person to do? And it's almost like Farrakhan, for example.
I'm about to get into that, bro.
I think, bro, at this point, we ain't even about to touch the fucking outline. I think Farrakhan is like literally one of the most brilliant minds I've ever heard speak. He's an incredibly articulate man. You know what I mean? Great guy. As far as his speeches, don't know him personally. You know what I mean? It's like, so you gonna tell me Farrakhan gonna go to hell because he don't believe in Jesus Christ? And I know that that's what Christianity says, right?
I'm listening.
But that don't seem right to me. And it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter how I feel, because the Bible says what the Bible says. But then you got to ask yourself, who wrote this in the Bible?
Okay.
You know, like who wrote this? Like, I'm a Christian. But what about my people that are not, though? It's like, so they're gonna go to hell.
Okay, I got something for you.
That just seems really hard to wrap your mind around.
All right, can I show you something?
Go kick it off, bro.
So it's like I have grace because I understand, bro. Because, bro, Louis Farrakhan used to be in my stories, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Great orator. You
He
have
an
to give
ill dude, bro.
You said what?
He an ill dude. Like ill.
He's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great orator, right? But you always got to look at the tree.
Mm-hmm.
You confess out of your lips more than once that you're a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you're a Christian, you believe the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it comes from him. It's written in Matthew chapter 24, verse 11.
Yeah.
Then many prophets will rise up and deceive many.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the core? All right. So that's the thing about life. We all been there. He's a great speaker.
Mm-hmm.
He go to church. I don't know why, but churches invite him to speak because I think they realize that, oh, he could speak to the black people, right?
Yeah.
But you realize he always sneak in the little teachings of NOI.
Of course.
Do you know the origin behind NOI? Let me show you how confusion works.
The Nation of Islam?
Yeah.
It's like a branch of Islam, which is Arabic.
No, it's not a branch of Islam. They don't accept it because the Nation of Islam teaches that the black man is God. They believe that Allah came in the incarnated into Fard Muhammad.
Right.
They believe the white man is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
They believe a whole bunch of other things, right? Which is confusion.
Is the white man not the devil?
Hold up. Which is confusion. Because remember the Bible. I'm gonna address that. I'm gonna address everything because
there's many many examples.
Let me address everything.
Yeah.
Now, there's always the thing about deception. They mix truth with
Of course. That's how they get people.
Now,
Nation.
And
it's a great tactic too.
Right. And Nation of Islam, I've been in their temple before. I listened to their lecture. Right. They don't call it sermon, but it sounds like but they call it lecture.
It feels like a lecture.
Right. And they speak to the flesh. Think about it.
I'm with you.
They speak directly to the black and brown community.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to feel like someone. And like I'm gonna say this. If you could see countless events in America, not all African Americans, but is always in a position to be easy to deceive. Louis Farrakhan, Dr. York. You know who Dr. York is? So let's not get hung up. I could say black man is black, this, that, and I could throw something in there to throw you off because you were church hurt. And you'll be quick to believe in me because I make you feel like someone. But look.
You cooking, bro.
But look, but there's more.
Some people not church hurt though.
But there's more. You said, okay, they grew up in a Buddhist home.
Yeah.
I used to think, oh, Wolf, that's how I'm so glad we had to. I'm so glad that God blow his lungs into our, he'd blow his breath into our lungs so we can have this conversation.
Amen.
I used to think all these things. I said, God, why would you do that? I used to think about Gandhi. I might get canceled for this, but I like Gandhi because this is a man who used peace. And they gained independence from the British Empire. All right. So, but God don't send people to hell, People send themselves to hell, right? Everyone on this earth have free will. We keep using the analogy, oh, this household, that household, but you never knew if they heard the gospel.
That's true, I don't.
You never knew if somebody told them a Bible verse. They probably said, or somebody in their family probably told them, hey, don't go with that belief. Now look.
But I don't know if that's good enough though.
But look, let me show you something. In the Bible, in the book of Romans, it speaks about those will still be accountable if they don't even know the law. Because their consciousness, because their conscience would convict them. For instance, right? The Bible says, Christ said, if a man lusts after a woman in his heart, he have committed adultery. But one of a religion will be like, I don't sleep with nobody. I just sleep with my wife. But you do in your heart lust after that woman, right? The Bible focus on the heart.
Yeah, the heart.
Not the works.
No, I'm with you.
Now, I addressed the fact with Louis Farrakhan. Hopefully I was able to address the fact with, oh, it's unfair that, people going to hell. Like that doesn't sound too right. Think about it. Christ came on this earth for a reason, to die for humanity's sins, right? So through him we could get to the Father. He said, no man, he said, for I'm the truth and the way. No one has ever said that in history. He said, I'm the truth and the way. No man can get to the Father except through me, right? You telling me by you saying, oh, that's unfair that these other people have to go to hell because they don't believe in Christ? Well, what you're saying is that Christ died in vain.
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm more so saying that like there are people who do practice Islam who their whole because one big difference between like Christianity and Islam is that a lot of people that are in Islam are actively going out their way to try to empower the minds of individuals in a way that you don't really see in church a lot. You know, so I grew up in church. Like I was in church like 3 days a week, 4 days a week type shit. You know what I mean? And Christianity, can't speak for every church around the world, but Christianity doesn't necessarily put a heavy emphasis on the empowering of self. And obviously it's because the attention is all on the glory of God and, you know, acknowledgement and worship of Jesus Christ. But at the same time though, we live in a world of many dualities, right? And it's like,
say it.
I like that Islam empowers young men to be intellectually sharp.
NOI or Islam?
NOI. NOI, to be fair. Hold on, come here. Come here. What's up? Y'all done? Yeah. We need some time. Sorry.
Right. So you said intellectually.
I like that Islam empowers young men to be intellectually sharp. I like that and then I like that Islam places a heavy emphasis on reversing the damage that racism has done to a lot of Black men too. I think that that's very powerful and is very needed. So I think about somebody like a 19 Keys, right? Who I'm a
See, it's some information. If I say it on this, it won't go good. But go ahead.
Yeah, so like 19 Keys, I like him a lot. I like everything he stands for. You know what I mean? I think he is a positive force and energy to this world, especially to Black people. And I think he is reversing some of the self-hatred that Black people have picked up along the way. You know what I mean? And I think that yeah, like you said, NOI, right? And like differentiated from Islam, you know what I mean? But you're saying they don't practice Islam.
Okay. I have, because when I hear you, bro, I'm not the type of person to be like, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person to say, hey, I understand.
Right.
And I've been in your shoes.
Oh, fuck.
No, I've been in your shoes because it was so much opinions and everything that I saw with my eyes. And I relied on my own understanding.
But do you get what I'm saying though?
I get what you're saying. Like I'm saying, in NOI, yes, they're sharp. Yes, they're very militant. They kind of remind me of the military because I was in the military. Very sharp, very clean cut.
That's what the NOI is.
Speak very
or the FOI more so.
Yeah, Fruit of Islam, speak very intellectual, do for self, and all these things. All these things, do for self, all them things,
Intellect, knowledge.
But
that's their heavy emphasis.
But hold up. But this is the thing. At what cost?
Right.
I'm just gonna put it out there, bro. And this is what I'm gonna tell you. It doesn't matter if he or she, if they trying to spread knowledge of self, all these things to make you feel very important. But what is it to gain? You know when God said, why gain the world and lose your soul? He not only talking about riches, like getting it's talking about like, why gain so much of what's going on in the world or what seems important? Like everything you're saying, yes, it's important for now, but what's the bigger picture?
It's
because the thing is this, let me show you something, bro. When I was in the temple in NOI for that one lecture, they say, who's ready to accept his law? And then few Black young men rose up and they said, Alhamdulillah. And they start, praising their God. And then I said to myself, it was sorrow that hit my heart. Because these gentlemen don't understand. You're falling into an organization. Yes, they uplift you, but they're not dealing with the spirit.
Yeah.
Christ said, if you deny me, my Father in heaven will deny you. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. The most scariest thing that anybody can hear on this earth when that day when Christ come, depart from me, I know if you not. All what Lucifer, and he still have time to repent,
of course,
to give his life to Christ.
But
hold up. Many men like him, and I pray it's not him, but there's other people out there that speak about black this, black that, right? Will say, oh, I did this, I did that. Depart from me, I know if you're not. And the thing is this, the Bible is dealing with the spirit. Remind you, we look at the color. That's the problem. We look at the color, but we don't know what's the character behind it. The Bible says, for the human heart is deceitfully wicked. Who can understand it? Brother Polite was out here preaching black empowerment.
There you go. That's a good one.
You didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. Black empowerment.
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one.
I didn't find out.
That's a good one.
I didn't find out because I heard that something with one of his wives and their daughter. And next thing I said, wait, but he's posting on social media. They said, nah, he just like scheduled them and he in jail. Right? Dr. York. Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We get so well. Hold up, there's more.
Well, I just want to say, I don't know if I've ever heard a good enough justification on why Elijah Muhammad. It was like he was found to have. He was having multiple children with some minors. Girls who were young.
But we don't listen.
I don't think I've ever heard like a justification of why that was okay.
Listen.
Maybe I don't know.
All I'm saying is that Malcolm X was a very smart guy.
Right.
He wasn't stupid. He saw the schemes, and he had to go all the way to Mecca. Watch this now. He didn't look for color. He was looking for character. Because he's like, well, there's jealousy here. They're teaching a lie about the white man being the devil. So, Wolf, you said, well, and they character throughout history. Let's not use that. The shooting that happened in Park Avenue. What was it?
It's a black man.
Black man. I don't care about the color. Yeah. I'm looking at this. And the thing, you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? Wolf, let's say you and I was chilling here, right?
Yeah.
We would have saw that brother. And we would say, oh, that brother's sharp. Because he was sharp in the photo.
Him. He would have popped this.
But let's say he didn't do that. Let's say, oh, yo, this brother's sharp. And let's say we saw a white man dressed up in Skechers and a white t-shirt and Dundee, like, oh, yo, he looked like a school shooter.
Right.
Turn on the news, oh.
It was the black guy.
We gonna look stupid. Because you remember, we gotta look at God as an example. He said, for man judge by the appearance, but God does not. He judged by the heart. But now, please forgive me if I'm... But
this is the thing though, bro. Fuck, I hate that you're doing this, bro.
I'm not. It's not me doing it. It's the word of God.
No, I know.
It's powerful than a two-edged sword, bro.
But what I'm saying, I hate that you're doing this because like you're leading me. You're making this podcast so much more expansively interesting now, and I'm just like, I don't have time to like. Oh,
you want to get into the health?
Jesus Christ!
You want to get into the health?
But it's just like, dang, bro. Because now it's like,
no,
okay.
I could give you. We can have a part 2.
Yeah, but damn. Okay, so the last thing I asked you was, how do you know she was ready to be a wife, right? But the next thing I want to say, and you both y'all just had a child. What is it like being a father?
Man, I love fatherhood. You understand? It teaches me that how to be patient, how to be more loving, how to be just more kind. And watching our daughter, it shows me how we should be. You know,
she's teaching you.
She's teaching me. So my daughter never quit. She's gonna grab it. She's gonna try and find a way to get it. Bro, I remember I placed on her changing mat. She was gonna turn over, but you know if she turned over, she'll fall. So I didn't do nothing. And I watched her take the other hand, which she can't see, to see if there's anything she could hold on. She stopped. Because she knows if she can't grab anything, she gonna fall.
Beautiful.
So it showed me, with being a father, is that I enjoy it. It teaches me how to be more humble, more patient, and more loving. But learning from a baby, bro, we need to learn that mindset to always be relentless, and as well, being willing to like receive. Be willing to receive. Babies don't have no ego. They don't have no pride. They listen.
How do you go about feeding your child? And where I really want to ask you is, what foods will you never feed your child?
Oh man. Okay. How will I go about feeding my child? My child will not be in anything processed. No fast food. Um, try to make everything as 2 ingredients as impossible.
2 ingredients.
Yeah. So if you want chips, I can make some taro root. You ever heard about taro root?
Mm-mm.
Taro root is a very powerful, like, it has less starch than potatoes,
Mm.
right? And you can cut it up, make fries, you can make chips, or I'll get sweet potatoes, make them like chips. No soda, fresh juices, like cold pressed juices that's not concentrated. If you know that when something says concentrated, like 100%
Mm-hmm.
like palm juice, that means it has been stripped of its water and nutrients.
Mm.
Remember that. If it says not from concentrated, it's the purest form.
Mm.
Her meat would be mushrooms. Her protein would be beans. Her grains would be farro, teff, quinoa, wild rice, and dairy. No dairy. No dairy. Right? Hopefully that was able to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
Especially no fast food.
When did you start dedicating your life to being healthy?
All right, bro. So in 2016, my ex-wife, being a vegan, I said, I'm gonna try this vegan stuff.
Your ex-wife was vegan?
Yes.
Oh shit.
So I went to Japan. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Japan for 6 months. I said, hey, I'm only gonna have I'm gonna be a vegetarian, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I land back in San Diego, I'm gonna be a vegan. So San Diego's full of nice vegan spots, but it's not healthy though.
Oh man, because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. I'm about to get into that
Yeah.
too. So what happened was I said, okay, I became vegan, started eating like unhealthy, like vegan foods.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing, back in 2018, I was in Okinawa. I started feeling for chicken. Went to a spot in Okinawa, had some jerk chicken, the best thing in the world, but I was like very constipated on the toilet.
Mm.
So next thing, when I was in the army, I had turkey, lamb, fish.
Mm.
I was selling sea moss, and then somebody said to me, yo, you need to watch Seaspiracy. The same doctor that was
what?
Seaspiracy.
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 Oh, shit.
The same
heard of that one.
The same doctor. It's about like the seas and stuff like that, everything.
Yeah.
But the same doctor that was on What the Health, he said the reason why fish has omega-3 fatty acids because they eat algae.
Mm-hmm. I see where you're going.
So I said, if I'm eating the middleman,
yeah, because that's what it is. It's the middleman.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the main source. So I cut it off, and I took it very seriously from there. I did my blood work like a couple of months ago, and I'm making be dedicated to doing it like every 6 months, and my blood work is good.
And people eat the fish because they're trying to get the omega-3s and stuff like that. So it's like, but if I don't even have to go through the fish. The fish is, it being its natural habitat being the ocean, it is eating the plants and the things that are growing on the rock and stuff like that. Sea moss and shit, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of, and the term sea moss have been used a lot very in a wrong way. Because if you ask a marine biologist that, hey, you sell sea moss and eat sea moss, they're gonna look at you crazy because it's thousands of algae. Right? So the one I mostly deal with is called Echinacea coutini. That's grown in St. Lucia and different parts of the world. But the ones when you hear Irish moss, it's the Cronus crispus, which is like in Maine and Ireland, right? So those two algae, they're very strong and they have omega-3 fatty acids. And just
I didn't even know that. Thank you for saying that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, a lot of people use it loosely. A lot of people say it has 92
So
minerals.
sea moss is it's a diaspora of sea moss.
Yes, it's like saying, how you put it, man? I like juice, but there's different forms of juice. You know what I mean?
Tell me about your company, Faith and Roots.
Oh man, Faith and Roots. My wife and I, shout out to my wife, Jamila. She really helps out a lot with that, especially with the content and logistics and whatnot. And Faith and Roots is a company where we strive to promote for individuals to invest in what God have created so they can receive the benefits that he have put into it. That's what Faith and Roots is about. That's all about. Like I tell people, how can you say you believe in God and not in his creation?
Yeah.
Not worship his creation, but believe that he gave the benefits in that creation that you may be able to reap the benefits thereof.
Yeah.
Brother, we live in a world where there's medicine underneath our feet. Why are we sick?
Yeah. Yeah, while we sick. It's interesting that you. First of all, I love that your business is it runs side by side with your faith and what you believe. I love that, and that leads me to my next question. Is not even a question, but you have a Bible verse in your logo,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, and it says, "God provided all seed-bearing plants and fruit-bearing trees for." Let me say it again. God provided all seed-bearing plants and fruit-bearing trees for humanity's food. Why is that scripture important to you?
It's a reminder. It's a reminder to remind me, to give me the confirmation of what he created. It's for food. Think about it. Have you ever heard that growing up in a church, they saying that after Sunday dinner? No.
Right.
Lord, bless this meal with grace and bring in nutrients to my body. Next week, Sunday. Hey, I would love for you guys to send out a prayer for sister such and brother such and such.
Sister Margaret. Yeah.
Do we bless the fruits?
Listen.
Do we bless the vegetables? But we bless the foods that kills us slowly.
That's
and then we want to turn around and blame the devil.
Yeah. That's one of the questions. But see, then that's actually one of my questions I want to get to later. But then this goes right back into some of the things that I like about the NOI, because they preach, like the book,
How to Eat to Live. I read that book. That's what I'm saying. I had, bro.
But see, this is what I mean though, like certain things, because like when you, like you just was hinting at, like after services, you know what I mean? Depending on what type of church you go to, they might have a get together where y'all have food together. It's gonna be spaghetti, it's gonna be fried fish, it's gonna be
ribs,
greens, it's gonna be all that. You know what I'm saying? Hog mugs in there and all that. You know what I mean? And it's like the food is good, it's soul food, right? But there's a lack of information that doesn't exist in the NOI, right? And that's what I admire. I think that it's okay to see the good in multiple things. You know what I mean? And I see the good in that way. It's like they encourage their people to eat to live. You know what I mean? To eat foods that are not going to be slowly degrading your body. I'm not trying to cape for them, but I'm just saying that's.
So I get your reference point.
Yeah, but we're praying over foods that they taste great, but our bodies don't necessarily agree with it. You know what I mean? And when we continue to feed these foods to our body, eventually our body is going to start reject itself. One, I don't think a lot of people know that scripture is even in the Bible.
They don't know.
You know? And I think a lot of the time we're so influenced and controlled by what we've always done.
Culture.
And culture. We're influenced by culture. And especially as Black people, a lot of our cultures, soul food is like prominently there.
Let me show you something. Let me show you how blinded. Remember growing up in the Caribbean heritage.
Mm-hmm.
You see your aunt, you see your grandmother, you see your mother, or you can speak for the American household. They're literally putting a lot of salt and a lot of sugar in the meals, and they say, "Boy, my blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, my blood pressure killing me. My
Diabetes,
right?" But we laugh about that.
Heart attacks.
Then we bless the food that raise the blood pressure. Do you know what high blood pressure is, bro? It's when your heart is working hard to pump.
Mm-hmm.
According to researchers, approximately over 116 million Americans deal with high blood pressure. So you tell me 116 million people walk around us with their heart barely functioning.
Because of this culture, right? And that we carry on tradition because we think it's who we are. Sometimes as people, we make a mistake of thinking something we do is who we are without separating, making a distinction. That's what you do, but that's not who you are, right? And what I love about this scripture is that the Bible is giving permission and coordinates to the plants. You know what I mean? The things that have embedded in the earth is for you to get nourishment from. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people knew that and they understand that, then they would be like, yeah, not McDonald's, not Popeyes, not fried chicken, not chitlins, not all of these things. It's this, you know? But let me tell you something. I've been in church my whole life. I never once heard this scripture.
See? And the thing is, it's like, all right. The fact is that vegan, vegetarian, no matter what you are, that doesn't make you go to heaven.
Of course not.
It doesn't.
Of course
all
not.
Right, let's put it there.
It don't make you a good person either.
It doesn't make you a good person either.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is this: I tell people, hey, like I tell husbands, if you don't take care of your health, she becomes a widow, another man comes.
Yeah.
Take care of your children.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find your reason why you want to be healthy. The reason why I do it is to honor God, to honor the temple that He has given,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying not all churches speak about it, but it's something they put in the back burner because it doesn't affect salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, but you don't want to. You don't want to. How would I say that? You don't want to bury a church member.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You are the prevention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, let me share something with you, bro. God told me one time to hit up my homeboy mom to speak to about health. Hesitated. Came to her. She said, "Yo, you know it's crazy. God told me to stop eating meat." That's not everybody's situation
Mm-hmm.
because she was dealing with high blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
and she was on blood thinners. My wife and I was able to help her. She not on those no more.
That's hard.
She's a completely plant based.
That's hard.
Then I remember we were helping with somebody with high blood pressure, someone who's dealing with blood thinners, and then the other one I ain't gonna mention because the
Mm-hmm.
C word,
Yeah.
But yeah, so um and it's I extend grace because a lot, if you bring this to not all churches, but certain churches, it's gonna be hard for them to break away from the idea this is what they're used to eating and they're living and they're healthy.
Yeah.
What's on the inside would not most of all the time show on the outside. People fail to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you realize you ever saw somebody that look healthy, but when they get the diagnosis, they're like, you don't look like your diagnosis.
Yeah.
Right? So it's gonna be a change, bro. It's gonna change.
Yeah.
People gonna invest in their health more now in the church.
Yeah.
They got to.
Well,
Go ahead.
people are definitely waking up, and then like me and you, we have the privilege of seeing. I don't know as much as for you because you're Caribbean. Now, I'm sure whatever eating bad in the Caribbean is way worse over here. I'm sure. Like as far as Americans, you know what I mean. But what I want to say is that we have the privilege of seeing the mistakes that the generations before us made. See, a lot of the time it's like cigarettes. At one point, people smoking cigarettes, they don't know what it's truly going to be doing to you. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand that about food. But we're at this generation where we're at that corner where we just like, okay, you know, the diabetes, the heart attacks, the early graves. You know what I mean? The bodies failing on them before they die. You know what I mean? But it's warning you. You know what I mean? That like we're failing, we're falling apart. At some point, a lot of the times we was thinking people was getting sick because it was hereditary. We was thinking it runs in the family. You know what I mean? People say cancer runs in my family. People would say diabetes runs in my family, and that's the ignorance, right? But we're at this place in with just our knowledge because we have multiple ways to be enlightened, right? Where we understand like, that's not the case. Because that's what I heard growing up. But now we realize like it's the choices that we making. We're choosing this. But we're choosing this because we don't understand. Just like when cigarettes first came out, people was just smoking. When cocaine really first hit the streets, some people was just enjoying that shit. They didn't understand what the true ramifications of it. Just like a lot of us don't understand the true ramifications of social media right now. You know what I mean? Generations later, they'll be like, that shit was fucking y'all up in a way. You know what I mean? But we don't know yet all the way. So that's why I love what you stand for, bro, and what you're choosing to do with your purpose in life because a lot of people just don't know, bro.
They don't know.
You know what I mean?
And some people don't want to know. I've been in those.
Some people don't want to know.
I've been in those conversations, and it breaks my heart because my aunt, right now, she has failing kidneys and failing lungs. I remember a couple of months speaking with her, FaceTime with her granddaughter, which is my cousin. I say, hey, we could do a colon cleanse. The first thing when it comes to healing, we have to target the gut. And now we have to target and clean the blood.
Yeah.
The reason why I have to clean the blood because whatever you eat, the small intestines absorb the nutrients and pours it right into the bloodstream. So imagine somebody eating something unhealthy and doing for a long time, plaques and toxins build up. So and then when I saw her, and then my cousin said, "Oh look her urine." I said, "Oh, that clear bag? No, look." And it looked like Mott's apple juice, but really red. And she has lupus. which attacks immunity. But I strongly believe that God is Jehovah Rapha. He heals. We have to move in faith and also do the action. Things don't just fall from the sky.
No,
you have to believe in him first and move with the action. We can't pick and choose what we have faith in God in. God is, all things with him is possible.
Right.
So, but hey, bro, I remember this guy named Samuel, brother. And this ties into why I do what I do. But I didn't realize God was calling me for this. I was just loving it. I was on a Zoom call. This is when I had CMOS the boss. I was doing a Zoom call on health. And something told me, I feel like God was telling me, yo, reach out to him. And reach out to him. He lived right around the corner. And he in the army. I saw him. He was feeble. And his wife was there. And we was talking about what kidney or some condition he had. And his wife was telling me he can't stand up. If you know what I mean. So I was all right. So,
yo, you a funny dude.
Yeah. So I gave him a colon cleanser. And I gave him some sarsaparilla. And I gave him some CMOS. And the sarsaparilla I gave him was from Jamaica. He said, gave it to him. I think in a couple of days, I forgot how long it took. He FaceTimed me. The sun was bright. He was in the pool. He had water in his face. He was happy. He got the energy he needed. That's what brings me joy, serving people.
That's beautiful, bro.
Because if a wife is saying that.
Shout out to the wife.
If the wife is saying that, and bro, he looked like he was about to be off the map.
Yeah.
Forgot what it was. Yeah, bro, certain things, bro. That's why my mission is to keep the hospitals empty with the help of God.
I love that, bro.
It's not fair, bro. I love that,
You
know what I do on the side? I'm a medical carrier. I drop off nuclear medicine. Last week.
Good job.
You know why I do these jobs, like these little 1099 gigs? Because I get to learn.
So you can spread the message.
Yeah, so I can be like, oh, wow, look at that. I asked the lady, hey, what's this thing? Is when they put them through the machine and all that stuff. I said, what's this thing I'm carrying? I know it's nuclear medicine, but she said they inject it in the patient. And she said that it helps to detect the cancer. And this is the crazy thing. That nuclear medicine has what? Guess what it has, bro?
What?
What's one of the things that causes cancer? Besides food? Radiation.
Oh, radiation, yeah.
So I said, wait, you guys inject to detect, but usually before you even get to that stage, you will talk to a doctor and they probably see symptoms of a cancer, but they just need to know where it's at. So it basically amplifies the cancer.
Listen, I don't want to, because I want to get to that later. Next thing I want to ask you is, it's crazy because you, again, like I said, you kind of running down the outline already naturally, which is great. You like the best guest to have. But the thing I was going to ask you is, to quote you, I saw a post on your Instagram and you said, why pray over the food that's damaging your temple? And that's a pretty controversial thing to say, bro.
Yeah, it's controversial and it's true. How many people, right, that was around your table for Thanksgiving or different family holidays that's not there no more due to a condition that has to do something with food? Or you heard about stories like that, right? This habit has to stop. You cannot fool God. You can fool yourself. So if you're going to go before him to bless a meal that you know is going to raise your blood sugar levels, you know it's going to raise your high blood pressure.
But isn't that why they're praying over it, though?
But it's ignorance. Because at the same time, how are you going to get nutrients from something? Why they don't pray over sewage water? Does it make any sense?
That's good.
It doesn't make any sense.
Before they drink it, it's like, Lord, please bless the sewage water, and then they drink it. But it's like, you expect
but the thing is, they don't know. They lack information.
Yeah.
Right? We know the sewage water is not good for you. The bacteria and the parasites are going to come in your body.
Yeah.
But the food thereof, do you know what you're eating?
Well, I think that I think as believers, I think that let's say as of lack of information, right? So they don't know. But one day they might. I wasn't always vegan, right? But I was praying over the food because one day I didn't know that I would become vegan. But one thing for sure is that I was praying over the food so that I could continue to grow and live so that I could find out what I would eventually become. And I think that's one of the reasons why people pray over the food, because it's not to say that, yeah, I know I'm not eating a plate full of like alkaline vegetable shit, but at the same time, it's like I'm just praying that this food does more benefit than harm. And I think that's the mentality.
That's scary, bro. That's,
I mean, but it is. But they're not at a place where they're ready to change the plate though, because they don't know.
They don't know, but we can't listen. Let me tell you this: excuses can ruin somebody's life, bro.
Of course,
you gotta be able to
ruin lives.
You gotta be able to wake up and say, "Yo, you know what? I can't change my lifestyle overnight, but let me substitute white rice with some quinoa. Let me substitute some
No, you're right.
You get what I'm saying? It's all about. I'm not.
But do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know that though, you can't do what you don't know, right? So before the Dr. Sebi, I learned about him and I was influenced by his teachings. Being a vegan was a thing. You know what I mean? It was already a thing. So being healthy was already a thing, but the ignorance, you don't understand just how detrimental the decisions that we're making are. So what I'm saying is, when they pray over the food, because I do not have the knowledge, I don't even know what quinoa is yet, right? So while I'm praying, I'm just asking, can you just take care of me today? And then eventually, hopefully, you live long enough until you find your reason to change. Somebody might have never been vegan before until they hear this episode, this podcast, and they be like, wow, I'm gonna see if I want to try it. But they had to go through all the pork and all the shit that they had to eat to get to this point.
We've all been there.
When I'm saying they praying over the food, it's some shitty food, but at the same time, they just asking like, God, can you just make sure that the worst don't happen to me while I'm eating the cheeseburger with double bacon on it?
But now you're just fooling yourself. Because if you think about it, bro, sometimes it's even a habit. It all starts from childhood. Children only know what you introduce them to. You think my wife and I is gonna pray over food that we know is not good for us in front of our daughter?
Of course not. But you're enlightened though,
right? So for those who are not,
yes,
who are watching this podcast, take your time. Don't rush into becoming healthy overnight. Know your why. Know your why. Because at the same time, you know, don't get me wrong. I used to love the curry goat. I used to love the oxtail, the curry chicken.
Had some lamb the other day. It was slapping.
Lamb chops. I used to love all of that, right? But I think for my situation is pretty unique. My story is unique. I just feel like it's more like of a calling in a sense.
Of course, I think so.
Because I'm not the type of person to be like, no. You have to. No, I'm gonna recommend to you, and it's up to your choice, because you're probably not paying for hospital bills now, but bro, hospital bills is expensive, bro.
Oh, brother, hospital bills is expensive in a way people don't even fully realize. It's like just to go and get like an EKG before they even pull blood on you, you're gonna spend about $1,500.
And if you think about it as well, mind you, I'm gonna tell you this: medical bills is one of the reasons why people become bankrupt. Look it up in the United States of America.
What does being healthy actually mean?
Being healthy actually means that you are breathing without tubes. You're not taking any pharmaceutical medicine. You're able to walk. You're able to talk. You're able to think clearly. You're able to have proper bowel movements.
What does thinking clearly mean?
Oh, no brain fogs. No brain fogs. You know, you could be able to walk a mile. You know, to everyone, you know, their opinion is differently. Some people say to be actually healthy, like I just told you, is to be able to walk, is to be able to, you know, move your neck, you know, thinking clearly.
To be able to run without feeling like you're in pain afterwards.
Right. Not having shortness of breath.
To get a good night's rest.
Not
having migraines.
Not having migraines. Not having headaches.
A tight chest.
Exactly.
Anxiousness.
Depression. Right.
All of these things.
Now, it gets deeper.
Of course.
Because I believe to live a healthier lifestyle, you have to incorporate the things that are beneficial in your body and what minerals is created in your body. For instance, as we know, that mangoes contain magnesium.
And what is the magnesium? Why is it important to have magnesium in your body?
Well, hey, let me tell you for one, it helps regulate your heartbeat. Right? You want to have a healthy heart. Why?
Yes, you do.
Like it's not only about eating healthy, it's about knowing, okay, God, help me to steward my heart right, my lungs right, my brain right, right?
Steward means take care of your shit, if you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because the thing is this, we live in a society in America where heart disease is the #1 leading cause of deaths in America.
Man, bro.
Heart disease. And what falls under heart disease?
Man, bro.
Heart attacks, obesity, high blood pressure.
My grandfather passed away in Jamaica. He's a preacher. He's doing missionary work. He was building homes in Jamaica. And he had a heart attack there, and that's where he passed. And it's like, damn, bro. You know what I mean? But the heart, though. You know what I mean? Just extrapolating on what you're saying.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, you're Jamaican background?
No, my grandfather, I don't know what he was doing there, though, but he was doing missionary work there to assist in some type of way. He was helping building homes in Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I would love to know the backgrounds. Like, what was he doing there? Because my grandfather lived in Indiana, but
oh wow,
it was some work within the church though.
Okay.
Some church work. But anyway, the heart though. You think he on an island? You think that this the last thing he thinking is he not coming back?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But again, the heart is so it has to be prioritized. And like I'm somebody who has dealt with a lot of anxiety in my background, a lot of anxiety. I've been to the hospital many times because of my anxiety, because I didn't understand what I was feeling in my body. You know what I mean? I just knew that every time I was having a panic attack, I felt like I was going to die.
That's the worst feeling I've ever.
It is the worst
I had
feeling.
It one time on the bridge, and I was like, "What's going on? What to do?" But I was stressing.
Yeah,
I was stressing out. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it comes from that. But even a lot of the stress that you feel in your body, because your body is not. It is not. Your body is a breeding ground for all things negative when you putting fucked up shit inside of your body. You know what I mean? It's like when you got fats and red lake yellow 40 and all these different things that you can't even pronounce on the back of the things that we consume. And it's like these things, it's like resting poison in you, and it doesn't create space for you to vibrate. You know what I mean? For you to be on a higher frequency. And so anyway, I had all this anxiety, and I was going to the hospital because I just like, after I called the ambulance the first time I had a panic attack, and it was like, you fine, it's just anxiety. But that didn't make me feel safe enough to not go to the hospital again, because I always was like, okay, they saying this anxiety, they're saying that you can't technically die from having a panic attack.
That happens? People die from
it? Well, no, they're saying that you can't.
Okay.
They're saying that you can't. However, when you're feeling these things in your heart, it's like, I just can't take the chance. Like, what if it's not a panic attack? What if I'm having a stroke? What if I'm having a heart attack? The last panic attack that I had, bro, not that long ago. It's like 2 years ago now. You know what I mean? I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't smoke weed anymore. But I was smoking weed. I was drinking coffee. I was having a great time. I was with my family. We had a 3-story Airbnb, had a beautiful rooftop. I woke up, I watched the sunrise, I was drinking my coffee, I was smoking weed. I was just feeling right. My family downstairs, everybody sleep. I just got ahead of myself, bro. I just had too much of it. These things already played on my anxiousness, but I had stopped it. You know what I mean? For a long time, for years. And so I was around my family again. I was like, maybe because I took that time off, I could reintroduce it maybe again. Because I always enjoyed these things. I love coffee. I love smoking weed. You know what I mean? But man, I did too much. And bruh, I went downstairs to where my mom was at, and I was like, Mom, she already knew something was wrong. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know how to say this, but like, I feel like, I damn near feel like I'm having a heart attack. You know what I mean? And bro, when I tell you I laid in that bed, bro, and like the whole left side of my body was ice cold, bro. And it was numb. It was numb to the point where I went into the shower, piping hot water, bro. I could barely feel that shit, bro. It's crazy. And it's like, I'm saying all this to get back to matters of the heart. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't always like that, but I kept ignoring what my heart was telling me. And that's another thing about health and why it's so critical, because it's like, it could be a room full of people and we all chilling and we vibing, but you don't know what that person is feeling in their body, but they do. And maybe they don't know exactly how to identify it just yet, but they know something feels off because once upon a time you were so young, you had youth on your side. You know what I mean? So shit just felt, your body just worked for you. You know what I mean? But then you get older and then your body doesn't work for you in the same way. Your body's kind of like, okay, we've been patient with you. We've had enough. Now we're no longer keeping you from the things that was always actually happening. Now we're letting you know. You got to listen to that shit. When your body is giving you them signals, giving you them hints, you got to listen because the reason why my panic attacks got worse, one, because I didn't fully understand, but my body was telling me we're done with marijuana. We don't want this anymore. We're done. We're not vibing with this no more. And I didn't know how to really understand that, and I wasn't ready to adhere to that either. So what did I do? I kept smoking. You know what I mean? And maybe not every time was a panic attack, but this feeling in my chest kept arising, you know? And eventually, man, I think I smoked myself into fucking up my nervous system realistically, and then that's when anxiety became like an actual part of my life. Now it was like a normal part of my life. Like anxiety, wherever I went, anxiousness was with me. You know what I mean? Because I think that I had done damage to my nervous system. You know what I mean? So I'm saying all that to say, to extrapolate on your point, you got to listen to your body and you got to protect your heart, because if you don't, you don't want to see what happens when it's too. You don't want to see what happens when it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing.
Yeah. You don't want to see what happens when it's too late, bro. So let me ask you this. Do you think not choosing to eat healthy is choosing a life to eventually be sick?
Yes. Yes. Because some people hit this. You ever heard the statements? I don't care. I'm going to die anyway.
I've heard people say that.
Right. And it's very sad because when they get the diagnosis,
they ain't trying to die.
You chose that. You reap what you sow. You chose that. Come on now. How much longer are you going to try to kick down the door? Eventually it's going to fall down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people got to know that. People really have to understand that. This thing is very serious, bro. I'm seeing her on the hospital bed a couple of days ago.
Mm.
Got a tube through her nose, moving around. She's feeling uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy when one is eating unhealthy, they're comfortable. They're happy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. July 4th, American thing, hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Very carcinogenic, which is very cancerous.
And you would never think it.
You would never think that.
Because the way they brand everything, bro.
Exactly. And and I have grace for all people out there.
You got to, yeah.
Who's having a struggle of eating healthy or finding healthy foods, because look, bro, we can't say the hood no more. But also in areas like this temptation. McDonald's, Popeyes, pizza shop. I get you. I get it. It's hard. But that's why when you're doing things alone, it's going to get really hard. You got to find a community, people who eat healthy.
Absolutely.
Someone who can hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Because if you do it by yourself, you go to a family reunion, you're going to fall.
You're going to backslide.
Like people who stop drinking, like alcohol, right? They have to be around people who are not drinking. But if they go to an event that's drinking, they're going to drink.
Man, and that's one thing that I thank God for in my life. I've always had really strong discipline, bro. Like I done been around my whole family. They had everything there. I was like, the only thing I can eat here is this roll and the salad. And that's just what I'm gonna be on. You know what I mean? And you know, sometimes being a leader, you gotta lead by example. You know what I mean? And people not gonna really feel you till they see you. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to tell people to eat right and do good, but it's like you got to sometimes be in the moments where you at the family reunion, you see everybody grubbing down, and you got to be the person that's like, I'm cool with this, because I don't think these things are beneficial to where it is that I'm trying to go. You know what I mean? Like where it is that I'm trying to be. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you got to make that choice. You know what I mean? You got to have that discipline. Like I've been drinking alcohol. I'm in a phase of drinking alcohol right now, but I done been in a phase of my life where it was like everybody drinking around me. I'm not partaking in none of that. You know what I mean? Because this is just what I'm on. But I didn't have a community, and realistically, that's probably why I didn't keep it up as long as I could have. Because realistically, at some point, I like drinking. You know what I mean? Some of my favorite memories in life come from getting drunk, running around the city. You know what I mean? So I have more time in my life doing what I'm trying to stop doing than the new thing that I'm trying to start doing. So it can be very easy to go back into something that you're most familiar with. But that's why you need the community of people so they can keep you accountable, put their arms around you, and you can see when you look to your left and your right, you realize like I'm not in this alone.
That's true because the thing is, it's like it's discipline.
Yeah.
It's not motivation. Unity is the foundation of survival. Trust me.
Yeah.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Why is it so expensive to eat healthy? Why is eating healthy so expensive?
Well, why is it very expensive to go into a steakhouse? You have to choose and you have to know the ins and outs of how to budget to eat healthier. You can go on Amazon and look up bulk chickpeas, dry chickpeas for 5 pounds for like $16. You know how much meals you can make there? Let's say you have a household, okay? Probably get like 3 bags, but still 16 times 3.
I mean, come on.
38.
Can't beat it.
You could get things on bulk. Now, let's say you say, hey, I like going out eat like on my lunch break. What can I eat that's healthy around me? Do you have a Kava around you? Do you have a what's it called? A dig?
Dig
Dig
yeah.
around you. You can't eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. Now, if you want, you can start at a basic level, but if you want to continue going up, it's gonna get much more expensive. It's the same thing when people say eating healthy is inexpensive. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. The case is that you're not willing to invest. Because if you look at if you look at their shoes, if you look at their clothes, if you look at their lifestyle, if you look at how much money they spend out every week when they go out to eat, it's a lot of money.
Well, what about so I think about like me and my dad was having a conversation one time, and I was telling him, I'm trying to encourage him to change his eating habits because he's dealing with some things and I want to see those things no longer exist, right? And one of the things that he told me was that it's expensive, and he feels like I don't got an unlimited budget to be put into the grocery. So I go get the things that I get because it's easily affordable and it fits into my lifestyle, right? And so what about the person who is older? They not out drinking all the time. They're not out partying. They're not wearing expensive shoes and stuff like that. They just wearing decent clothes to be presentable. What do you think about that person that says that eating healthy is expensive?
Okay, bet. Meet them where they at. Meet them where they at. Take them to the place where they go grocery shopping that they shop for and they can afford. And you can find healthy options there too. Meet them where they at. But now when you start to hear other rebuttal from bringing them to a place that they can afford, then it becomes an excuse. Now it's comfortability.
Well, that leads to my next thing. If somebody wants to eat healthy but doesn't know where to start, what's the first thing they should do?
Clean their gut.
How do they do that?
Well, there's a lot of numerous colon cleansers they can get. I mean, the one that I always recommend to everybody is the Dr. Mission.
So if somebody wants to start eating healthy, the first thing you say is not to go get healthy food, but clean the gut first.
Clean the gut first.
And I think I know why you say that, but can you explain why would that be the first step?
The first thing, why? Because they're backed up of everything they have ate. Let me give you an example. There was a young lady that, oh, yo, I got to invite you to the Wellness and Faith event, August 23rd.
Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, bro. Because we have a speaker there who had throat cancer. And we have a speaker there who had high blood pressure and who's on blood thinners. Good game. She had cancer, but she said to us, to my wife and I, that throat cancer. She said, I realized being a vegan, doesn't make you healthy. Because she said she was eating microwave like
Impossible meat, all that type of shit. Beyond beef. Yeah.
So I always say start with cleaning your gut first.
So get a fresh start.
Fresh start.
Start from foundation zero.
Your gut, then afterward clean your blood with some sarsaparilla or some yellow dock root.
Is that another way of saying you need to detox?
Detox. Yeah, condense. Detox first, then you're gonna go on a plant-based diet. But however, we can't. What we will do is say, hey, how about we substitute these certain things like white rice for quinoa or wild rice or farro or couscous, and we have some mushrooms. You can make it this way, that way, and see how you feel. And if they like it, just keep going from there. But tell them to always, if someone want to eat healthier, you got to eat a lot of fruits.
A lot of fruits.
A lot of fruits.
So they can start there.
They can start
Because
there.
maybe realistically, that's probably the most practical thing for somebody who's used to eating chicken, pasta, burgers, hot dogs. Is like, because I don't, unless somebody is like sick, because a lot of time when people get sick, then they get forced into the, okay, let's get with the oyster mushrooms and stuff.
That's a sad part, bro.
But for the people that are not sick per se, you know what I mean? Sick in the sense that they're not immobilized in the hospital.
Right.
I think the first thing that's going to be actually practical to them is like, when I go to the grocery store, tell me what to do. You get what I'm saying? And so you just mentioned fruit. I think that's something that everybody knows what the fruit aisle is. They can start there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I said they'll start there.
Yeah, and I think also that if I'm understanding you right, the reason why you're telling people to clean their gut first is because a lot of the impulses and a lot of the foods that we have a taste for are inspired by parasites and certain things that are already inside of our gut.
Mm-hmm.
And so is this true?
Yes,
is right. So when you're saying clean the gut, you're saying that because it's like, once you kind of get rid of the things that's drawing you to these things in the first place, that gives you a better head start to making a better choice.
Reset.
Yeah.
That's mostly important. You know, as I speak to you, I'm thinking about situations where my mom cousin years ago had she passed. God bless her soul.
God bless her soul.
She was a believer too, but she had bone cancer. And she was very like heavy set, like, you know, beast in a way. And she used to ask my mom to bring her KFC in the hospital, but she didn't know better, bro. But just to think about that, like every time I have these conversations, I think about people who passed,
of course,
of something that could have been prevented.
Same. Yeah. And you know, one time I was listening to Dr. Sebi's wife. I think he had multiple wives, so maybe this is one of them. But
no, he had one wife. It's just that he had different women throughout his life.
Cool.
I think before his wife.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I was listening to an interview with Dr. Sebi's wife. I think it was on Breakfast Club. And she was explaining how like people think we see through our eyes, but we really see through our stomach. And she was saying that the brain really exists in the stomach. You know what I mean? Because through your gut is how the way you feel really stems from what's happening in your intestines, really in your stomach. And I think if a lot of people knew that, that would help them open their eyes up a little bit better, right? Because it's like the reason why you feel unmotivated, uninspired, brain foggish, the reason why you're in a mood, right? You're not understanding it's the way you're treating your stomach. You know what I mean? And if you were to treat your stomach better, maybe you would realize like peeling off layers of an onion, the way you want to feel is buried underneath the decisions that you're making. You know what I mean? So if you, like for me, I was having anxiety and stuff, right? Doctors don't treat anxiety. There's not even nearly enough research in that space at all, at least not in the traditional Western hospital experience that Americans go through. So I had to learn. And what I learned is through Dr. Sebi and doing my own research, it's like, okay, I need to change my life. You know what I mean? So no more drinking soda. No more drinking alcohol. No more super sugary breakfasts and shit like that. No more dairy. You know what I mean? I had to remove things. And I realized as I began to remove things, the anxiety started to have less of a stronghold over my life. It started to become less powerful because I was taking away the things that was allowing it to thrive. And so us as a people, we don't understand that a lot of the time we going through life and maybe you hate your job. Maybe you don't even really like your life. And maybe you do need a change. But one thing about perception, if you can't change it, you got to change the way that you see it, right? So, and one way you can do that is by starting working on your gut.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of people don't know that. It's like a lot of the saving that you're asking for, you can save yourself. You know what I mean? You going into work feeling one way right now, but if you remove these certain things that contribute to you not vibrating how you should, you can walk into that job feeling completely different. Same person. What changed? The only thing changed was you. Do you know what I'm saying?
See? Yeah. So in that situation about health, it's all about changing what is on your fork.
This is something I really want to hear your perspective on this, right? Why do grocery stores sell fruit without seeds in it?
I don't know their business plan or their budget, but seedless fruits like seedless grapes, seedless watermelon, it's cheaper than seeded grapes.
How?
And cheaper. I don't know why.
Mm.
Well, I think it's all about them saving their money. Now,
I don't even get how it's cheaper though. It's like it's the fruit is the fruit.
right, but you realize seeded watermelon is cheaper than seedless watermelon. People be selling for $20, $25, $14, but seedless watermelon is way cheaper.
Way cheaper,
right? Because it's low quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad they have seedless fruits, especially when you read in Genesis 1:29,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know where seedless fruits came from, but it's to mass produce. It's just being greedy. It's just man trying to be like God.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But you can't. What nutrients am I getting from seedless fruits?
Is it even a fruit if it doesn't have seeds in it?
Genetically modified.
Yeah, like is it even a fruit?
And the dangers, the dangers behind genetically modified foods, brother?
Mm-mm.
So it causes your cells to grow rapidly.
Mm.
So what disease is called when your cells are growing rapidly together in a group? Cancer.
Mm.
That's what cancer is.
Mm.
Nowadays, if you look behind certain foods, it says contains bioengineered ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Why does America put things in our food that's not good for our bodies?
It's a business. I'm going to show you a triangle. You ready?
Show me.
I'm not going to put it over my eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you a triangle, right? So on top,
Mm-hmm.
you have the pharmacy,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have the big pharma. This side, guess what you have? The fast food. The foods is not good for you when they put certain poisons in your food. There's certain ingredients that the FDA approves when other countries, they ban it.
100%.
And then this side, you have what? The hospitals.
Mm. They're working in tandem. Yeah.
Back to big pharma. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's an evil genius idea.
That literally leads perfectly into my next question is, do you think America purposely makes the food bad because they make money from us being in hospitals?
Yes. It's easy. It's easy to make more money off of someone who's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the hospital bills.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We're going to market it. It's like a business.
Mm-hmm.
We have a name. We have a product. And we're going to market it to you. And we're going to speak to your pain point. Are you tired of waiting for cooked food? Here, we have this fast food right here for you.
Convenience is the motherfucking thing, bro.
It can kill you.
Convenience, almost everywhere where you find convenience, the shortcut, it's a trap almost every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Big pharma, food that's going to kill you or make you weaker. Hospital.
Yeah.
Medications.
Yeah.
And none of those medication do not have the minerals that was created in your body. No medications.
Ain't that some shit? Now that's crazy.
See, I'll say it again. None of those medications have any health benefits to the body. No minerals in your body.
Mm-hmm.
None.
So what are they doing?
They're treating the branch, not the root.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the symptoms, but not getting to the root of the problem.
Exactly. If someone has high blood pressure, they don't need to be on high blood pressure.
It's like they put makeup on it.
Right.
Versus actually doing what's needed to have good skin.
Inside.
So,
like for instance, like the person that my wife and I was helping with the high blood pressure, what we deal with, what was the first? The gut.
Mm-hmm.
Then we put on sarsaparilla tea for her to drink daily. We made her incorporate her more fruits, veggies into her lifestyle. Beans, wild rice, grains, quinoa. And she did that. So she's dealing with the reason why she has to clean her blood to get rid of all them toxins out of her body. And that causes what? The blood to flow easier.
Wow.
So if the blood is flowing easier, that means the blood pressure could be regulated. So that means no more high blood pressure.
No more blood thinners.
The blood flow, no more blood thinners. Because if I'm not mistaken,
skin looking better, right? Happier.
And sarsaparilla do have blood thinning properties.
But it's natural.
It's natural. God created it.
Yeah, it's not made in a laboratory with 17 other things that come from nothing organic.
Right.
That's the sick part, bro. Like,
see, it's simple, but the sad thing is that it's not, because we live in a time where they put in front of your face. You see on the highway,
convenience.
They have celebrities They endorse
Endorsing
celebs.
it, yeah.
So it's hard.
Again, it's the convenience, bro. It's like if my stomach hurts
Mhm.
because I've been eating something that has upset my body, I could take Pepto-Bismol. You know what I mean? I could take um heartburn medication, or I could just pop a Advil or a Tylenol because it's convenience. It's like instead of me having to change my habits, 'cause I don't want to do that. I like the things that I like, and I like doing the things that I like to do. And I don't want to stop doing that. So what I'll do is I'll take the route of convenience and I'll take this pill, or I'll take NyQuil or something like that, and it will subdue the symptoms for now, but it won't stop it from happening again.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, please.
So I remember I had a bad headache in Texas.
Mm.
Went to Sprouts and said, "Hey, do you have
This when you
anything
was
for
in
headaches?"
the Marines?
In the Army.
Army, excuse me.
And I said, "Do you have anything for headache?" Right in the herbal aisle in Sprouts Farmers Market. They said, "Yeah, we have white willow." So I looked at it, I researched it. White willow is actually in what you call it, an Advil. They use a little piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
White willow is known as nature's Advil.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for headaches.
Mm-hmm.
I took that bad boy, drink water, ate some grapes, gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, it's hard.
This is a plant?
Yeah, it's a plant. It's a herb.
It's a herb. They sold that where?
In Sprouts.
Oh, Sprouts. For
Yeah,
sure.
Sprouts Farmers Market.
Sprouts. They definitely got it in Sprouts.
Yeah, so I was very like, but to this day, I understand now, like, yo, it was hard because growing up, Tylenol,
course.
Tylenol, you good, headache gone.
I wish I could reverse every Tylenol I ever took.
Right. But at the same time, it destroys the lining of your stomach, all these things. So the whole reason being, like, people need to realize, okay, is this good for me or is it bad for me? You got to make a choice from there. Or if you don't believe me, go to a hospital, any hospital. When you see cancer patients, when you see patients that's dealing with strokes, bro, you ever saw somebody with a stroke, bro?
Yeah, I have.
All these things come to this when fork meets the mouth.
That's the sick part about it, bro. It's so sick. It's so sick. And it's like some people have not had the experience to watch a family member like slowly pass away, seeing their bodies slowly change. But bruh, it's some sick shit. And what's even sicker is a lot of us know exactly what that look like, and we following in their footsteps. You know what I mean?
That's the sad thing.
That's the sad thing.
That's the sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing.
It is.
And that's why I tell people this, man. Like you praying over someone to be healed. That's good. But don't make the same mistake that person did that you praying over.
Mm-hmm. Because everybody thinks it's not gonna be me. Everybody thinks
until it happens to them.
Everybody thinks that,
bro. It's reality. It's true, bro.
Yeah,
bro. I saw a lady and her husband. She had cancer. She was crying because it's horrible.
Of course.
You know, and I'm dropping off the medicine, and I'm like, yo, that's not it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and these are the things. These things has to stop, bro. COVID-19 was a slap on the wrist, a wake up call for the world.
Mm-hmm.
You see, people are now more interested. Before that, people was not really interested in health, you know, until the world have to go through a pandemic, and people say, all right, I gotta eat healthier now, bro. It's a sick reality to see people, you know.
Well, I think people were interested in health. I think a huge reason why a lot of the people were resistant to taking it is because of people like Dr. Sebi and his extreme influence on the nation. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for Dr. Sebi, I don't know where we would be, to be real, because wasn't nobody jacking that vegan shit before Sebi? Nobody.
Well, in Jamaica, they big on, like, it's something called ITIL.
ITIL, yeah.
Yeah, it's big down
Which
there.
is really vital, right? But it's like idle, though.
Yeah, but it's just that, like, the way how Dr. Sebi came about his message was something very unique. So people could understand, hey, these foods is, and that's a whole nother topic.
Alkaline.
That I'm plant-based, but I'm not against the alkaline way. It's just, to me, that can't just be the only list. He created that list so people can, it's for when you get sick. But you can't say, oh, these are the only good stuff to eat.
Because Dr. Sebi denounced a lot of things. One of the last questions I want to ask you is, there was a post on your gram. You kind of already talked about this already. Like I said, you're running down my outline before I even get there. But there was a post on your gram, and you had a caption that says, "Radiation does more harm to cancer patients than good."
Oh, man.
Why did you say that?
All right, bro.
Mm-hmm.
When people die from cancer and they were taking chemo, it's not the cancer that killed them, it's radiation poisoning. Chemotherapy, that's why I said radiation connected, chemotherapy, how they link. Chemotherapy is known to cause the cancer to be aggressive or develop more cancers, weaken the immune system, and even destroy, um, even destroy the sexual reproductive system as well. It does a lot more harm. Think about it. You heard about it. It causes people pain. It's very painful.
Mm-hmm. Lose the hair.
Yeah, they lose their hair, immunity. Their skin becomes pale.
Mm-hmm.
And it can cause the cancer to grow in other parts inside the body. Develop new cancers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
It's terrible.
Is radiation a part of your chemical makeup? Is it part of the minerals that's creating your body? No. No. I don't believe so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's a business, bro. Hey, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be a treatment. It helps people. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God, some people survive.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, after that, they gotta rebuild their immune system because their white blood cells is really low.
Yeah.
And
Killing them.
we're gonna use this to treat the cancer. But then, guess what? It's a gamble. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta take care of the hospital bill.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. That was my last question. And really the last thing I want to ask you to do is just, kind of just let people know what is your mission while you out here. You're doing what you're doing. You're spreading the messages, you're building your brand. What is your mission and why is it important for people to get in tune with you and to connect with what you got going on?
All right, bet. So speaking to this camera.
Go ahead.
Is this camera on me?
It's on
No,
you.
it's not.
It's on you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you for asking me that question, Wolf.
Mhm.
My mission is to first and foremost to let people know that, Christ is our savior. He's the truth and the way. But, secondary is to let people know that, hey, you have to be a steward of the body that God has given you and all the organs and systems that he has put into your body. It's very important, you know? And another thing is that I just want you guys to know that it's not worth seeing a family member cry and have to go through the expense to pay for a coffin. Funerals is not cheap,
No, they're not.
and hospital bills is not cheap.
No, it's not.
So you have to do your due diligence. Let's not commit the same mistakes that our forefathers did, but actually let's change the way how we eat. And husbands or husbands to be, remember you are the doctors of your household. And wives to be, you are the nurses of your household. Meaning that when the doctor's not there, who's there? The nurse. And your kitchen cabinet is your medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure whatever you put into your body, make sure it's able to replenish the minerals in your body to enhance and optimize your health. Right? So why invest in your health now? So later on, you don't have to invest in hospital bills. Invest in your health now, so later on you don't have to invest in hospital bills. And you connect with me at the Real Giovanni D Henry and my business page at Faith and Roots.
Mm-hmm.
God bless.
And real quick again, tell people what is Faith and Roots.
All right. So Faith and Roots is a company that my wife and I was blessed to be able to steward by God. Is to promote to others that to come back to the original herbs that's able to enhance their health, to promote, hey, invest in the stuff that God has created so that you could reap the benefits thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So we're here to keep the hospitals empty, for you to be healthy, for your family, and not to pass away from a disease that could have been prevented.
Yeah. Yeah. Dog. I appreciate you for coming here, bro. I knew this was gonna be good.
But we went.
Yeah.
Now we have to come back for part 2 because I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, I would love for you to come back on part 2, but I just want to let you know that I personally, bro, fuck with everything that you're doing. I am not vegan as of right now, but I eat clean majority of the time. Like I enjoy just eating everything that comes from the earth. I've never felt better in my body than when I'm eating plant-based. You know what I mean? And so I look forward to coming back to that side. I think before I didn't know enough, you know what I mean? I don't think I was necessarily doing it in the best way. But that's the dope thing about connecting with people like you, is because you can talk to people who can share their perspective and give you some of their advice with their wisdom and stuff. So anyway, I fuck with everything that you got going on, bro. I completely support your mission. I support the brand that you're building. I support the content, the messages that you're spreading. I support all that shit, bro. You know what I mean? So I fuck with you heavy. Thank you for being on my podcast, bro. For the people, support this man. Support him in any way that you can. Get in tune with his messages. Follow him. Spread his reels. Become a customer of his services. You know, like he said, his mission statement is to keep people out of hospitals. One thing I can tell you, I might not have ever met you, but one thing I'm willing to bet about your life is that your ass don't want to be in no goddamn hospital. Neither do I. You know what I mean? But we all know people who are there and they stuck there and they can't leave. We all know what that's like. You know what I mean? So first thing you got to understand is nobody's above the program. It could happen to anybody. You know what I mean? Like sickness doesn't wait on people because you're a good person. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. It comes to claim you, and at that point, you in the you just in the, you don't want to be in that position. You know what I mean? So prevention is everything. You know what I mean? And preparing is caring, and maybe you becoming a customer of some of his products will help you. You know, one step at a time. Everything is about moderation, but one step at a time, you can start to create a healthy body that will, how do I say this? A healthy body where sickness is not something that's going to become something that's going to come knocking at your doorstep, essentially. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. So support this man any way you can. Get in tune with him. He definitely going to be on the podcast, man. You already know this is the mantra, the outro, the religion of the brand. Whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then that means that I'm living in my purpose. This is the Halfway Up Podcast. I'm out of here. Peace.
God bless. God bless.
Yeah.